What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Beard Bros Breakdown Podcast, our first ever podcast. My name is Redbeard, and this
is Crodock. Yeah.
That's right. Yep, our first ever podcast, and we are here to just introduce ourselves, talk about some wrestling, possibly mainly wrestling, and also if we have the time, gaming as well. But how you feeling in there? First ever podcast.
It's cool. I'm just, it's just about talking, and talking is something I like to do. So I feel like it's not gonna be too difficult. So it's gonna be a fun, chill vibe. It's not gonna be anything like serious,
No,
We're just chilling.
we have fun here and we chill and this isn't my first time doing podcasts. If people know, I did a podcast back during, well, let's say before pandemic age or whatever you want to call it, era, and did a little bit of podcast here and there, but this is brand new. Now I got a co-host and yeah. So, I mean, well, how have you been, sir?
I've been good. I've been recently streaming a lot of Monster Hunter Wilds, which I'm probably not gonna talk about on this episode, but maybe some future episodes. And it's just a lot of stuff going on. I'm looking forward to the future of this year when it comes to content creation, especially with this podcast. I think it's going to be really fun.
Yep, you've been on a grind. You have been on a grind, and I'm getting myself back into it, uploading more, streaming more. Definitely new year, new us, pretty much kind of thing. So, I mean, but
Hell yeah.
guess we'll get into the topic at hand. A lot of wrestling stuff has happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of wrestling stuff has happened. We'll talk about the women's chamber match, Elimination Chamber. Holy
Okay.
shit. It went-
Jade. Let's just start off with Jade Cargill returning and attacking Naomi after making it look like she's gonna attack Liv with Bianca screaming Bloody Mary.
Definitely a storm came. No, in my mind, since she was attacked months ago, I knew it had to been. It seemed too predictable for it to be Liv and Raquel. It didn't make sense to me that they would just randomly attack. Like, I get it at the time they were all feuding. Like, we had War Games and they were all fighting. I don't know if Jade was on that team. I don't think she was.
She wasn't.
No, yeah, but I figured like Liv, they were close to Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. So I feel like, Liv and, but then I thought, no, everyone wants the Bianca versus Jade match. Everyone wants maybe the Bianca versus Naomi match. And so when she came in fighting Naomi, I called it because I had a feeling that Liv has been too focused on winning the chamber, was too focused on Rhea at the time. There's no point in her to randomly attack Jade like that. So I still don't think it was Naomi. I still think that Bianca has had a hand in it, and maybe she set it up to where it looked like Naomi so she could walk her way into Mania like she is now. This will be dated, but congrats to EO by now that she's now the new champion. Sorry for spoilers, but this will be 2 weeks after. So I mean,
yeah.
Definitely congrats to her. I didn't see that coming. I thought Rhea was going to retain, but yeah, excited to see if Jade is there this Friday. Hopefully she is.
Yeah, I think like one of the things that I noticed on the rewatching the women's chamber match back is I definitely think you're right. I think it is Bianca that attacked Jade and she made it look like Naomi because Naomi looked confused the entire time, but Bianca when Jade walked in took her jacket off like she was ready to fight.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, she took her jacket off and then I guess she really thought that maybe that she thought Jade was kind of like gullible and was going to attack Liv, but once she started attacking Naomi, she really sold it home. There's even an Instagram post that WWE threw up of the pod camera, and she's like going off, dude. She's like freaking out, crying probably. And I'm like, people think Naomi did it, but I feel like in some point, like we're gonna hear the truth from Jade at some point. Bianca's way too confident that they don't think it's her, but I feel like Jade knows something is gonna like hype that up and make her think, yeah, Naomi betrayed us, and then she's gonna be like, but I know you probably did it. You know what I mean? But yeah, for sure. Um,
Yeah.
I did enjoy the Tiffany and Trish match. That was cool. It was like not the biggest because I knew like they were already going to give the hometown hero her win, and obviously Tiffany is I almost called her Trishy.
Trishy time.
Trishy time. I almost called her Trishy, but like they were going to give that champion that boost. I'm really hoping that this direction they go in for Mania. I hope Tiff retains. I understand like Charlotte is the big headliner here, and I know she was definitely the ultimate pick for Rumble. I still see. I don't know. I want to feel like there's a change of heart from her, and her character, or her outside of her character, wants to put over Tiffany, and I really think that could be the case. Just because, like, I get it. Charlotte's character is like, I'm the queen. I deserve everything. I really hope her character outside is not like that, and put Tiffany over.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I hated that women's tag match. Now, listen, fine match. It's an okay match, but it was so obvious and no one really cared. That was the issue. The crowd didn't care about that match. Most fans didn't care about that match because it was obvious who was going to win. I feel like, and also the match, like, sure, it was good, but did not feel PLE worthy at the end of the day.
I think
It just felt like a SmackDown tag match.
Yeah, I think they didn't know what to do. They had because there was no championship matches, but that one, well, that wasn't a championship match. They didn't have any championship matches that night. Um, and it's like I don't like how like after the men's there was like, oh, let's go into the Cena promo, but I guess we understand now why it went into that. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like I guess they just didn't have nothing to do or another match. They could have like I don't know, given like the DIY could have done their match, or like they could have had like War Raiders or something. They probably just couldn't think of anything, and I guess because hey, we want to have both of our big champions on the card, let's give them a title match, and then it was Canada, so you needed Trish there, so you wanted Trish to have a match, but it was automatically a squash match for Nia and Candice. But let's talk about Candice. She deserves more, truly.
Yes,
Candice,
agreed.
like her, I've known Candice since the pandemic. I haven't known her personally. Candice since the NXT like pandemic phase where she was in the way with Johnny Gargano and all that. And they were she was very important. I don't know like her in ring abilities are great. She's just I don't know why she's getting shadowed like that and why she even needs to partner up with Nia. It's so random. I would rather her be like manager for DIY since they have history with those members, but she definitely deserves more and some sort of potential like small title. If they give us like a women's intercontinental, which I think they're working on, uh, or even United States, like she could be a contender in that. I think. Wait, there is.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, but
yeah, I agree. Like Candice, in my opinion, is one of the best women's wrestlers in the WWE when it comes to in ring action. She's a veteran. She's been doing it for like 20 years. She was great in the Indies. She came to NXT. She's doing great stuff there. And now on the main roster, she did the thing with Indy Hartwell, which was flat, and they released Indy Hartwell like when they weren't appearing on TV at all. And then now they're putting her in this like Nia Jax like, oh my god, I want your approval so bad, blah 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 blah.
yeah, that's such a. I hated that when that happened because Indy she wins the NXT championship, women's championship, gets injured. When she's healing, she gets called to the main roster. They don't do anything with her that's well enough, and then they just give up. It's like there's stars that they bring up to main roster and they don't get anything. Like Blair Davenport got released. She never
Oh,
did anything. She was there. She was like in the backstage or small little segments, but she nothing happened. Yeah, and these releases as well are insane to me. Some of them I saw coming, some of them I'm upset about. Like it's just yeah, they're probably there for temporary contracts, but it's like sometimes they're still shocking, especially with like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. They've been released twice already and came back, and
mm,
it's just bringing too many people back. It's like I don't want to throw them under the bus, but it's like to me, it's like an AEW kind of thing. You sign way too many people, you're not going to be able to use them all. They were able to use them all in the beginning, but then it's slowly like, well, we don't know any storylines to do because they pick certain people Because one thing you have to pick the main attraction, the runner up, you got to pick the champion, and then you got to have your small storylines on the side. They can't fit everybody into that. That's why SmackDown went to 3 hours because now they can fit their smaller people in there. So
Yet it
some of these
still drags on.
releases, yeah, some of these releases suck, but yeah,
Yeah, don't forget one of the like most egregious examples of it where they called Dijak up to the main roster, didn't use him at all, and released him. Like, why call people up if you're just not going to use them and then release them? Like, you don't
yeah.
have anything, don't call them up.
If Dijak never got called up back during pandemic era where he was leader of a faction called Retribution and they completely ruined his character, he would have been better. I'm glad that he went back to NXT to get his character back, but yeah, the Dijak situation is bad because they did promise him a re-sign to extend his contract and they didn't do it. They changed their mind last minute, and that's kind of a shot in the dark there. And it's the same thing with Baron Corbin. They had plans for him, and then they just, I don't know what it is. It's like, and people are upset. We're like, well, now Triple H is turning into Vince. I'm like, no, Vince just didn't like some of the people. Triple H has probably reasons why he's letting them go. Vince, his only reason for some of them is that he didn't like them. That's even like a point. Like, and then if the fans don't like him that much, they're gone. But Vince would strip away things from people, and then it takes away their whole aura, if you will. So, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, that's not like a comparison. Like, there's people who complain in this era, and that's fine. I mean, you're allowed to complain. It's a product, right? But saying something like Triple H's booking is worse than like Vince's booking is like Triple H's booking, even his worst booking is better than Vince's like booking. It's
yeah, and
it's
I think
like
the only booking that like you and I are really had a problem with was Money in the Bank 2024 for the men's.
yeah.
I think that was the only real big gripe. There was some kind of things like I did have a little gripe about Bianca winning because I for some reason was going for Alexa, but then I was like, I kind of make it kind of makes sense, and now it makes more sense now that we're getting EO, because they did have a bit of a history when EO was face at the time. Well, no, heel at the time
Yeah.
at Damage Control. Like I think the one time that she fought Bianca, I think she lost when Bianca was champion at the time. I do see her retaining. People are pushing for a triple threat: Rhea versus EO versus Bianca. I don't know about that. It could happen, but I want to see a 1v1. But if it happens, it happens. But I feel like Rhea's going to do her own thing soon, and I don't know what that's going to be. But uh, in a way, Charlotte was right about the whole child thing, where it's like you act like a child, you get too angry when something doesn't go your way, and then that's what cost her the championship. So yeah, Charlotte was basically right. I mean, there could be a potential, future storyline with that if Charlotte doesn't win, but we shall see. But
Yeah. I don't know. I think Rhea like I think there's a good chance it becomes a triple threat. I personally want the 1v1 just because of Io and Bianca's history against each other, and I just think it would be like a really cool match, but I don't know, it could be a triple threat. But I do want to speaking of that, let's talk about like just really quick Io winning the world title on Raw. And something about that is so you know the women's tag match between Trish, Tiffy, Nia, and Candice, right?
yeah,
That wasn't PLE worthy.
no,
Io versus Rhea was. I don't know why they didn't just do that instead.
Y-
Like they had something right there.
yeah, that's what I thought they were going to happen. I was like, okay, so maybe she'll because when she cost her or cost her, I mean, she technically did cost her for attacking Liv. That's another example of like her being childish and immature and like but I mean to be honest, Liv had her by the hair, so she hit her to get her off of her. I kind of hate that and also I kind of hate that, which is weird. The referee didn't do anything about Bianca pushing Rhea. If that was not
Yeah.
storyline based, they would have won. They would have ended at DQ. The ref is looking right at her pushing her, but because storyline, they didn't call the match in a DQ. People were like,
I
the
think
refs call DQ if anytime that happens. I was like, that's a storyline thing. Refs are not actually disqualifying like that because I mean, there's been times where like example when Solo hit the belt over or whatever, the thing over Cody's back, the referee heard it and ejected Solo, but he didn't call the match. So it's like there's instances like that where referees' decisions are storyline. And it's weird to me. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think the explanation that they're gonna go with for that is it was just a push. It wasn't like an actual hit.
All right.
So I think that's the kind of logic they're going for there. And also, I would have hated if it ended in disqualification anyway. So
I was about to be mad. I thought it was going to, for real. But now, yeah, it's going to be an interesting match, I think.
yeah.
For real.
So speaking of, let's move on to the men's elimination chamber. Now,
That
um,
worlds collided completely there. My God.
yeah, I think one thing I definitely noticed about this match that I don't have a problem with it personally, but I did see like a few people kind of like not messing with it, and that's just that it didn't have like insane spots or anything like that. But yeah,
Yeah, it did. I think the only insane spot was Logan Paul's frog splash. Well, attempted frog splash. He didn't really hook himself well, but I mean, he was so up in the air. I don't blame him for not hooking it so well because you still want to protect yourself and make sure you land. Yeah, that was only pretty much. Yeah, the most of the spots were the women's, especially. Um, yeah, the men didn't really need any. It was more of storyline in this one because all these people have history together, and then Logan Paul. Well, Logan Paul and Seth, but yeah, and then Punk as well. Let's talk about Drew getting eliminated first.
oh God, okay, what are they doing with my boy? What are they doing with
I
him? Just
I don't know what the hope of what the future holds for him. I want a belt on him, and then I'm like, he doesn't really need it because he's going places with these storylines. But now I'm like, they just keep making him lose. I don't understand. I don't know the last time he's won a match. It made him be a singles match, but I don't. I think it was a squash match they had him win. I think what didn't he beat like Tozawa or something? He fought someone and it
no,
was
no,
like a
no. The
squash
last
finish.
match he won was him versus Sammy on Raw.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one. So like he's taking down big names, but like on raw on single matches, regular, no, not contending for anything. Yeah, he. I like how it was Damien also that did it because Damien eliminated him in the Royal Rumble too with the help of someone. But yeah, he's getting done dirty and he's really pissed.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're setting him up for. I think they're setting up Damien versus Priest at WrestleMania, which
yeah,
I'll be honest, I don't really care.
it's just yeah, it's just gonna it's a good match to have because they're obviously getting back like they're back at each other for what happened at Mania last year, but it's just not going to matter that much to people. It's going to be a rivalry match, but it's not going to be the biggest people want unless they do something to make it the biggest, like a stipulation or something. Uh, but other than that, it's really not going to do much. But I mean, it'd be interesting because they've worked well together before, so I'd like to see that to be honest. But
Yeah, I think one of the like really intriguing things about both of them is they have the exact same issue but completely opposite, where right now they're kind of just not doing well, and it's because of like the opposite reason. Drew is losing constantly to any roll up, which is just like bad booking. Like they were trying to make him this badass bloodline bounty hunter character, and now he's just like the guy that loses to a roll up every single match. And then for Damien, like they're making him this invincible guy who you can shoot at and he'll be fine. Like it's just I don't know what they're like trying to do here.
yeah, I wish Damien. I do wish Damien still had his presence and over because he kind of lost it after pretty much losing to Gunther and then trying that feud with Finn, and then he just disappeared and was doing his own thing. I wish kind of he, I kind of some for some reason wanted him to take the belt off of Gunther, but I mean at this point Gunther is the one putting these people over because he's not really holding these belts anymore for long. I'm calling it. Jay's gonna win.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if Jay wins, then maybe Charlotte loses. But yeah, and then well, let's talk about Cena.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, a
Well,
deserved win, but not a deserved ending for me. I'm heartbroken. I mean, it's deserved, but it's also, oh my god, they did it. Um, the man's a villain now. You can see him.
yeah, I looked at the someone calculated the amount of days since Cena was last heel. It was like 7,700 days since he was a heel.
Which is in retrospect,
20
20. Yeah,
years,
they could have
I
just
think.
said that, but they went back and actually looked at the time. I hope that's the time that he actually wrestled too, and not like they counted every single day since then. But back then, your personality in the WWE was your personality in real life. So I mean, you could count it, but yeah, because
Yeah,
yeah, Thugonomics he was heel, but still was over with people, and then like his debut was definitely heel. That's the whole point of ruthless aggression. And even though at the time Kurt Angle was like the heel between face and heel, he was the big guy at the time. So him coming out like that and coming owning up to the veterans and stuff is like a heelish kind of thing. It just didn't come out that way. But Thugonomics was like goofy and crazy, so like me looking at it like he was a heel but wasn't. But now he's like full blown heel. Like I don't know what this dude's gonna do. Like we're not gonna see him to the 17th, unfortunately. But I want to hear a promo from this Cena. I want to hear a promo. I want to hear how he acts because he didn't say nothing during the press conference. He just
yeah, no, he
dropped the
walked the fuck
mic.
away.
He dropped the mic, and then that's all he did. And then I want to hear a promo from him. I want to know if he's going to still wear his normal attire or if this man's going to come out in a suit. If you know this man's interviews or whatever, he wears suits.
He
He
does.
kind of like
He
does.
rocks.
He wears suits, kind of like how Cody Rhodes wears suits. It'd be funny if they like he wears them too, and they're like parallel. One's dark, one's good. So I mean,
Oh,
I would like that because, like, how do you take a heel seriously if you come out in jorts, and a T-shirt that just says "Never give up" on it, and a baseball cap? He's not going to be running down to the ring anymore. He's just going to walk. This is going to be interesting, to be honest. Like, really interesting. So, I mean, I'm looking forward
yeah,
to it. I'm sad because this is my hero. This is last year, but we can see how he does it. We can see how he does it. Now,
yeah.
Sammy. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I think that like Cena. I can't wait to see what his new entrance thing will be, and like also Cody telling The Rock to go fuck yourself, and the fact it wasn't centered was awesome. But one thing that really stood out, and now is kind of going to be an eyesore whenever you watch this back, Travis Scott. Why was he there?
I didn't like that he was there, dude. I don't understand. He made it worse for me. Like I still have my jaw dropped to the floor, but he made it worse because he's just there. Like people like him, some people don't like him, but he's just there. I don't know,
Yeah.
but like he didn't need to get involved. You're not in the storyline. And also, he actually punched Cody. He slapped Cody.
And did you see the report on that? How he injured Cody for that?
Is he injured? Like did he bust a
He ruptured his eardrum. He might be out for like 2 months, they said.
Travis Inc? Is he not gonna make it to Mania?
Nah, he'll definitely. I think he'd rather risk like breaking all the bones in his body than miss Mania.
I mean, he'll
So I
probably
think
like,
he's.
yeah, he'll probably be off show, and then yeah, unless he like, I mean, he's fought with a ruptured pec before, so I mean, he could come out there with like a shiner on his face. I still think he would show up for us, but he just probably can't do anything physical to let that heal. He'd probably still show up.
Yeah,
You gotta let your main guy show up for WrestleMania like beforehand too. So
yeah. I
no,
think the main.
sorry.
Sorry. I think the main issue with like just Travis being there is 20, 40 years from now when people are looking back on this moment is one of the biggest moments in
And
wrestling.
Travis was
There's
there.
gonna Yeah, like you're just gonna see that random guy in the background. And it's gonna be like, what?
Yeah, I don't know, and like, I don't know if he's the one because the music he walked into, I think he made that song because that's like their. I think that's the WrestleMania song or the. I can't. Remember, I hear that song a lot, and I don't know. They play it during Raw too, so I don't know if that's Monday Night Raw's theme or what. But he hadn't. Well, no one even knew he was there, so him just walking out like that was random. So I was like, I mean, Rock and him are buddies, but like, you don't need to be there for that. That's a moment for the fans. he is a fan, but it's like you don't need him there. He's just a random dude beating up a wrestler. But yeah, I don't know about that, but I don't like this angle of Cena not showing up, and I didn't like the angle of him not showing up at all for SmackDown. Because it's like
Right.
I knew in a way he was going to win, but like him having less appearances like that makes him. It's weird to me because like usually he would be showing up a lot, and hopefully after this he is showing up a lot for Mania or pre Mania like promos and stuff. Because like he was technically there in Toronto, but he wasn't there for SmackDown. So it's like because they were in Toronto on SmackDown, so it's weird to me. I don't know what they're doing. Apparently, right now he's filming a movie. That's why he's not there for another 2 weeks, and then he'll be free up until Mania. Because like it's his, it's I was about to say revenge tour, Liv Morgan. It's his retirement tour. So I'm like, I figured he would be there every night, or at least every other night, and he's still kind of limited in his appearances. It's like you want to make unless like he's going to be open for the rest of the year after Mania and be a lot, but I really hope he's there more than just PLEs. It just reminded me of a Brock Lesnar situation where he's like, I only wrestle in PLEs and that's it. It's
Yeah, no, I think he's gonna appear like more after Mania because he did say I'm pretty sure there's like he's gonna make like 30 or 40 appearances in his retirement tour. So that's not like it's definitely gonna be on weekly shows.
that's why it makes me feel like he is going to win the belt if he's going to show up a lot. There's going to be a reason for him to show up a lot. We shall see though, and we'll have definitely a video for that.
Oh
Definitely
yeah.
a discussion about like pre WrestleMania predictions and stuff. So definitely.
Yeah.
But that
Let's move
wasn't
on.
even the brutal match of the night. Sammy and Kevin.
Yeah. Woo! Oh man.
That was I you can and I've told you when I was talking about it, I wasn't excited for that match. I wasn't in the
Yeah.
beginning, and then I watched it, and I was like, "Holy shit, holy shit!" Like I was doing that with the fans, and I'm like, they killed each other.
Yeah, I think I've just realized you're never excited for Kevin's own matches, but once you watch them, they're always so good.
I
Because
wasn't.
because you weren't excited for the Cody versus Kevin ladder match, and I told you I was like, bro, this match is gonna be amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think because like I was kind of getting tired of their storyline. Not really, because it was like Kevin is justified for how he feels about things, but like it started like getting to the point where I was like, okay. But then when they finally like Rumble was definitely the the ending, I was like, okay, this is freaking awesome. And then Sammy and Kevin, I was like, here's the thing about Sammy and Kevin. Because you are because we'll let them know you are new to wrestling. You began it in
Mhm.
like you got there at Mania. You got at the end of Roman. We all like had to deal with Roman shit for 4 years. You got at the end, and we were like, yeah, and you're like, yeah. When you were happy, but like because you watched everything beforehand. You watched compilations and stuff, but like
Uh-huh.
we had to sit through that shit for 4 years, and it finally happened. So obviously everyone at home's like, yeah, what the heck, fuck yeah. But with Sammy and Kevin, they also have that relationship where they're a tag team. Kevin betrays. They're a tag team. Then Kevin betrays, and he did it again. And it's like that kind of feud is like repetitive, but this one was great. This was actually a great way to do it, and I think Kevin winning was probably the best thing to do because that means that Sammy's definitely going to be out. Probably not going to make it to Mania. But now we're getting Randy and Kevin, and Randy's back. Randy's back.
Hell yeah.
And I saw a joke on the WWE Twitter, like Randy's return getting overshadowed again because because of Cena's heel turn because he got overshadowed by CM Punk. They're like, this man can't catch a break. But I'm glad Randy's back, and it looks like he's back in that Viper heel phase because the man got messed up by Kevin, and now he's back to. That's probably gonna be them at Mania, and
Oh
everyone
yeah, for sure.
whoever listens to this, man, if you think that the damn Cody and Randy, they'll get their feud one day because people wanted that. People were thinking, well, this is going to like the speculations before Cena's heel turn was Cody was or Cena was going to beat Cody or no, I think it was going to be Cody versus Randy at Mania. They wanted that because
Yeah.
Cody and Randy have a history, but they had to know that Cena was going to be involved at some point. Because we know, like, watching the shows, like, Randy's like got his eye on that championship belt. He always does. He's a Viper. He lurks. But now Cena is in the
Mhm.
fray, and it's like, well, now if they get that match, it'll be in the future. It's going to be
Yeah.
a whole different thing. It's Cena's pretty much his moment. Like, I was going for Punk for Rumble, but then I had to think to myself, if this is Cena's year, he's definitely like got some. He's definitely getting that 17th belt in some way, shape, or form. If not Mania, SummerSlam, but I feel like if he's going to have more appearances after Mania, probably Mania. So
Okay. What do you think about this random out there prediction? At SummerSlam 2025, John Cena, he has the title, right? And he loses it to Randy Orton at SummerSlam.
you know, because that's what I'm thinking here. Because John Cena's title reigns were not really long. Like, he's had some long ones, but I wouldn't. I could see him dropping it. I could see him dropping it and dropping the heel element, because that's what I told myself. He's not going to leave the company heel. That man's going to go back to the face. He's giving us a taste of what we wanted. He's going to go back to face before he leaves.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And now if he stayed heel, I'd be surprised. But I feel like he's going to go back to face afterwards. That could honestly be something like that would actually be cool. And then it causes for Randy to drop to get the belt. We just got to see where this Kevin and Randy's segment goes, because I don't see it going after Mania. It could end it there, and then Kevin's off, for a while. But that could be a cool match. We haven't seen those two fight each other in a while, so I mean that would be. And I feel like Cody's getting to deserve time off soon because he's been doing a lot. So I feel like if Cena does win it, that's a potential for Randy coming after it. So Randy could
Yeah, I
win.
mean
Randy could
just
win Money in the Bank. We don't know our Money in the Bank guys, so I
oh,
mean that's another season to go for. Like, we don't know who our Money in the Bank guys are going to be, and I could see Randy jumping himself in there, but we'll have to see, because right now they usually pick who's over, like the main male stars who are like would want to win it. I don't know many right now, but Randy could be one for
or
sure.
he could win King of the Ring
He could
because
win
he
King of the
got
Ring.
runner up.
He got
So,
runner up. He could do that. That is 100% true. So
and what better way to make two nights of SummerSlam more prestigious than having Randy Orton versus John Cena?
is that beginning this year or next?
Yeah, this year.
2 nights of Mania, 2 nights of SummerSlam. My God. Whew. That's gonna be something. Two pay-per-views to
Yeah.
take off for, huh? Why are you taking off so much? Well, I mean, SummerSlam. What? Yeah. So I mean, it's at first it's like people were definitely. I will say this. I agree with people have been saying, because WrestleMania sales were down a lot in the beginning. Like, tickets weren't getting sold. This heel turn changed that shit. This heel turn
Oh, yeah.
got them tickets bought, dude, and we're like, because all we had was Jay and Charlotte at the time, and they're like, well,
Mhm.
if it's Punk, yay, but Cena turning heel, now they want to see this shit, and now Rock's
Oh, yeah.
involved, and I knew Rock was going to get involved, but it's like people are like Rock and Roman. I'm like, Rock and Roman are not going to fight, and then people want Rock or Roman to get involved in Seth's steel cage match next week. What's the point of that? Like,
I
yeah,
think it'll happen.
Roman. I, I don't know the last time Roman was there, but I don't know if Seth. Oh yeah, well, because Seth. That's right. Yeah, I remember now. Royal Rumble, Seth curb stomped him. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It's such a damn blur, but like, yeah, Roman curb stomped him, so I could see that happening. But I really think Seth and Roman are going to face off in a 1v1, in my opinion, because they haven't had their 1v1 in a while. But and also, I don't know what the hell's going on with the Bloodline. I don't think I've tuned into any Smackdowns, but I'm waiting for that Jacob versus Solo match. I want that to happen for sure.
Yeah, they're teasing that right now. They're like having the little like hissy fit with each other. But I think it is going to be a triple threat between Punk, Seth, and Roman, simply because I think it's going to be like advertised as Punk versus Seth. Sorry, Roman versus Seth only. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to have CM Punk use his favor, and that'll be the main event of night one. Because honestly, that deserves a main
That
event
is
more than
true.
Jay
We
versus
do
Gunther.
still have the Paul Heyman favor, and we don't know what that is yet. I've never been able to like guess what it is because Paul Heyman is so secretive, and they all are. So I wonder what that favor is going to be. And if the favor was to get him into Mania, I'm all for it. I'm all for it for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, and now Chad Gable, he wants to be the greatest luchador ever. Uh, I don't know if that's just meaning he's on time off or he's actually over in Lucha Underground. Unless he
No,
comes
because
back as a gimmick, I hope that's not the case.
I think what they're gonna do, which I kind of don't want, but I also think would be really funny, is I think they're just giving him a luchador mask, and then he's just like gonna come back and like have a mask or some shit.
Just imagine this whole time he was Dragon Lee. No, I thought like because it made me think that he was a secret luchador out there somewhere. Because like sometimes like for his size and his like strength, he could be an actual luchador. I honestly think he's just he maybe is training for it, but also taking time off and giving the Creed brothers stuff to do and Ivy Nile and stuff. But I really hope that whatever he comes back is an actual good gimmick and he can actually. I feel like it's an excuse to be honest, but I feel like it'd be funny if he came back with someone like very high up in the Lucha Underground. Could happen.
Ooh,
Instead of him
that
going to
yeah.
train, he probably went to go find someone. So a match for Penta or something, but I don't know who that could be. So
Well, he did say he was looking for someone to teach him the ways of
that is
luchador.
true.
So
That is true. Very, very true. So there could be a lucha libre that either has been in the WWE or is very highly praised in Lucha Underground or somewhere, probably a free agent somewhere, and definitely going to show up with him at some point. So
what if plot twist? It's Ray Fenix, Penta's brother.
I've I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that. Yeah,
He was
that
just released.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. He was just released, so I mean, could it be that? I mean, if you need someone to fight Penta with his own brother,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I also think, like, speaking of luchadors, LWO and the New Day have a feud that, frankly, like, I don't get it. I don't know, man.
You know, they whatever they had going for them, the New Day, they definitely fumbled it over a while. Listen, I've been watching Kofi since the man debuted. Like he's been around for so long. Like seeing him as a heel, and the main thing for the heel is just really pretty much crowd uh, crowd rage to get the crowd to be angry with you. It's like those heels that are like we're bad, but we're like, what else can we do? We just beat up people. They probably definitely had something going on, and then it just didn't know what else to do with it. Like yeah, we're getting booze, but we don't know what to do. I would like for them to start going after like bigger people or like people that are over and they just interfere. Like they're going after Ray. That works well. I'm glad that they're in a feud with that. And I kind of see either LWO versus them at WrestleMania or like a one. People want Big E to come back. Listen, if his neck is not that bad, I still don't see him coming back because apparently it is healing. But I think kayfabe or not kayfabe, storyline wise, he's never coming back, is what they said. So it gives me a
Yeah.
possibility, but he's still doing the post show and the pre show and all that. It's like he's not written into a storyline. If they wanted him at Mania, he'd need to be in storyline now. So I mean, it could be Ray versus them and whoever like Dragon Lee or one of the LWO members versus New Day, which would be like a to me honestly, it sucks because Kofi's a veteran pretty much. It would be a sleep match because it's something no one's going to care about. They're waiting for the other stuff, but they get their moment at Mania as heels. So
Not to mention they've already been feuding with LWO for like weeks at this point. I don't see them stretching it to Mania. But at that point, like, what do you even give the New Day?
yeah,
Like,
you don't really give them anything, and if they win, nobody's going to like that because the heels. But if they do go to Mania, LWO would definitely probably win, and one of those situations where the heel's not going to win at Mania, and then they're going to move on from that. But yeah,
yeah, I think I do want to talk about, like, for Monday Night Raw, the Punk promo at the beginning, him absolutely calling the fuck out of John Cena and Rock. And dude, some of those lines were great. That was like one of the best punk promos I've ever seen. It's the best one I've seen
It
since I've
brought me
started
back.
watching.
It brought me back to 2011 days, dude. The old days where he had his feud with Dwayne and well, he calls him Dwayne with Rock and Cena. Yeah, that
Yeah.
pipe bomb.
Wayne.
It, he brought their pipe bomb back, dude. I love it. It it's definitely was my favorite segment because that he's channeling because with history with because there's history there with Cena and The Rock. They had history. The infamous like this the heist of the
Once in
century
a
where the
lifetime.
once in a lifetime and the heist of the century where Punk beat Cena for the WWE title, left
Well, no, no.
Chicago with
Heist of
it.
the Century was Seth Rollins catching, wasn't it?
That was the second. The first one was where CM Punk left with the W. He left the company like storyline. He left the company with a belt, and they had to make a new one because he said if I win, because his contract was ending. Not really. Contract was ending per the storyline. I think they had renewed it, but he had his problems with the WWE. But he said I'm winning that belt, and when I do, I'm leaving the WWE with it. He leaves, and then he comes back later. Uh, I think they have the belt. Cena wins this belt, and uh, Rock gets involved. This is during the time that Punk has had his like long title reign. Rock comes back. This is after him and Cena had fought. Rock comes back and oh no, this is before. I think this is the second time because Rock and Cena already fought. This is the second time. Rock comes back and he's like, "I'm gonna get that title from you." He wins it at the Royal Rumble, and then Punk doesn't like that. And then Rock and Cena at Mania, Cena wins the belt back from Rock. So there's history there because he didn't like Cena, he didn't like Rock. Now he's furious because now Rock and Cena, who were bitter rivals, are working together. It's pissing the man off. There's a lot of history there, bad tension. And yeah, so this is interesting because those three had a big issue. I like that they're working together, but the tension is real. So looking
Yeah, what
forward
was
to it.
that? What was the line he said during the promo? It was like, make a wish something, and it was a really good line. But
I can't remember. I think I have to watch that segment again, but I feel like it's a reference because there's some references that he goes to his old promos back in the day that you'll have to go find them. Like my favorite one that he says like your arms are too short to box with God. That's one of my favorite lines of his. He said it before. I think he said it to The Rock. I think in a promo, or it could have been The Rock or like one of the executives during the storyline, but I think that was the line that he used against The Rock, and yeah, I love that he's bringing up some of his old promos and stuff. So
well, yeah, the make a wish line is just like reference to John Cena's like make a wish, like
yeah,
support.
I
But
saw people were like they're gonna make it break a wish, and I'm like, he's not a heel to everybody because he was the main guy that they chose for Make a Wish. So yeah, Punk knows how to
yeah,
shoot really well.
the memes are crazy. I've already seen so many make a wish memes, and dude, like, and CM Punk's line of like hustle, loyalty, respect. You've been selling all these people bullshit for 20 years. It's so good.
Yeah, he's hyping it up. They know how to feed into it, and what's on the fans' minds, they say. I love it so much. This is going to be a very interesting Mania. It could potentially beat 40, but 40 had an ending where I can I this one has to be a blockbuster ending for it to be better. So Cena's involved, so it's already like better for me. But the ending to 40 can't be matched yet until we see what happens this year. So
I don't think WrestleMania 40 will ever be topped, in my opinion. At least like the ending of it. As a whole show, I think WrestleMania 40 has already been topped. So like,
yeah, as a show, but the ending no. But yeah, we're gonna whatever lineup we're gonna have. Cena's on that card. Randy's definitely gonna be on that card. It's like it's gonna get topped. So, but at the ending,
I
that was a cinematic ending.
yeah.
Cinema.
I think we actually do see Sammy at Mania, and I think it's gonna be something weird like him versus Karrion Cross.
Yeah, because like I'm getting tired. Like, I get it. People love the idea of throwing multiple people into a match. I'm tired of everything needing to be a triple threat. Like, they wanted, they were like Drew, Punk, and Roman. Well, first it was Drew, Punk, Roman, or no, Drew, Punk, and Seth, triple threat. And then Bianca, Jade, and Rhea, triple threat. I'm like, you give everything a triple threat, dude? Like, that's just your excuse. You have 2 nights. You can have 6 matches on both cards, or even more, because I can't remember if like Mania. I can't
They
remember.
have
I think they have
7
like
each.
seven, 8 or 7. It's like 7 or 8, depending on what they throw in there. Or like, well, there's 7 and then promos in between that. But it's like you can throw a lot of things in there. You can save these for SummerSlam. You can save these for after encounters. It's like you don't need to throw a random person in there when it's definitely a feud that they're like, she won it. She won it. Why give Rhea a random spot? It's like, yeah, she could throw her rematch clause in for Mania, but do they have to accept it? You know,
Yeah.
because she is due a rematch clause. That's why people think it's going to happen. So like, you're due that. So
Yeah, I think the rematch clause is so dumb, just because WWE is so inconsistent with the rematch clause that it like
it should have been
if you
retired years ago. They've been doing it for so
yeah
long. It's like, yo, if champion loses it, they automatically are first in line. And they can still do it regardless whoever the champion is. If Io lost it to someone, she could. Rhea's like, I still got my rematch because it was her belt. That's how the rematch clause works. They could still, because they were the previous owner who lost it beforehand. They can still do that, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It's just it's not even a rule, but it's universally a rule, so they keep it. It's you don't have to give them a rematch, but it's earned because that's apparently in the rules. But there's no contract. There's no papers filed. I mean, that's just how the WWE's been. It's like if a champion loses it, they automatically can rematch for it back, so on, so on. So
except unless we don't want them to, then they're not gonna be able to.
I feel like she's gonna. I feel like it'd be makes sense if she waited till after Mania to see who she wants to rematch it with. But if that's the case, maybe she does file the rematch clause before then. But I mean, you can't take too long. It's like kind of got to be right after as well. It can't be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it SummerSlam. It's like, no, that's not that works. There's gonna be someone next in line for that. So we shall see.
Yeah,
We shall
yeah.
see.
I think also speaking of one of the most hated I don't know why this is an awful segue. Anyway, I just want to talk about Logan Paul and his WrestleMania match because I think it's pretty obvious where it's going, and I want to know what your thoughts on it are.
Okay.
Logan Paul versus AJ Styles at Mania is
That
probably
is
what's coming.
obvious. That is obvious. Funny thing
Yeah.
is how they're both high flyers and very talented. I'm all for it because I'm so glad we're back in that range and era where AJ Styles is praised because they were kind of getting tired of his heel run. It wasn't working. He's been a heel before, but now I'm glad that he came back and got the love and praise that he deserved. Like
Oh,
he's doing his own thing. It made me so happy. Not even that, bringing his theme back. Thank you. Go away, Def Rebel. Thank you. Um, I'm so glad that like people see that like, hey man, this guy is like he's one of the greats. He's a veteran. I watched this man when he was babyface. He was in TNA. He is awesome. Like him coming back, he was the highlight of 2016. Like he overshadowed Roman. Like get out of here, big dog. Like I'm so happy that he's back. Like ready to show people, and I think that's going to be a good match. Obviously, he's going to win it if that becomes a thing. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm up for that. I actually would love that. I would actually watch because it's AJ Styles.
Yeah, I think I saw him in an interview just with Chris Van Lee that he just did. He actually talked about how he purposely changed to like a bad like Def Rebel theme because he knew everybody would hate it because his old theme is so good when he was heel. He wanted people to hate his theme, and now he changed it back and people. So yeah, it was
Yeah,
planned by him.
there's weird limits. See, that even shows you that there's like wrestlers have a say, which is crazy. Like wrestlers have a. I feel like certain wrestlers have a say, like veterans do. If maybe you're only there for a while, yeah. Um, I guess I guess I was late to it, but yeah, Finn having his theme back. What were they thinking at Rumble? That was just like it scared me. Like usually if you came out with generic theme, you're automatically probably gonna get released soon or get buried more. Finn is also needing more. I need something.
Oh,
I want something this year. Give him something, dude. Give him. I don't care. Get
I mean,
like
I think it's
drop
pretty clear what they're giving him, but you know,
and and the only thing that I could see him be given to is United States Championship. Because what are they doing with Shinsuke? I What are they doing with this
oh
man?
yeah,
They're focusing way too much on the LA Knight storyline with him, and now I think LA Knight's doing something else. I can't even remember. I haven't seen much, but dude,
well,
what are they doing?
to be fair, he did just lose someone very important to him, so he's grieving that right now.
Oh, Shinsuke.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah, no,
haven't
but they were
followed.
still weren't using him like months before that, so
Yeah, it's like I was excited that he got that belt. I didn't think he was going to, but like, all right, I was like, now where do we go here? It's like you gave him the belt. Now you gotta. But yeah, unfortunate circumstances happen because would you get a belt and then something randomly happens? Like Bailey won her title at Rainy last year, but it got injured, so she was off screen for like a month and a half, and then came back, and that's why they kind of dropped it to Naya because they didn't know what to do there. I would have liked if Io dropped it to Naya, but yeah, it was very weird. It's like there's circumstances like that. Like I said, mentioned Indy Hartwell won, but was injured in that ladder match, had to drop it. It's unfortunate. Like those kind of things mess things up. But then if she didn't, Roxanne wouldn't have become champion.
true.
There's things there's Mandela effects, or I think that's the term for it. I believe like something has to happen, or something accidentally happens and then it leads to something better. I think that's what it's called, but
I
because
think I don't know.
I think it is because like I remember watching a video on that and like oh if Finn never got injured, or it's just like when he was champion, Kevin would have never gotten it. This would never happen. This would never happen if I think one point like if Goldberg or something like never squashed someone, Roman's tribal chief wouldn't have happened. It's so many things. There's so many things that created better storylines, but we shall never know. Like I hope Finn, I really hope Finn gets some kind of.
Well, he's having a feud with Braun Breaker right now, so I guess the plan for him at Mania is probably the IC title. But I don't know, man.
I'm afraid because I know Braun Breaker's a beast, but like bring the demon back. If you bring the demon back, you're gonna win that belt, and people are probably gonna be like, the reaction is gonna be different because you're gonna go into that thinking Finn's about to get buried.
Yeah.
However, with Braun's like his title defenses are kind of like shrunk over time. I really want Sheamus to win it, but now Sheamus
Me
is
too.
focused on. They're all over the place because you had Sheamus and Kaiser, now you got Kaiser and Dunn. What is going on? It's just so many things. It's all a storyline. Something's going to lead to something, but
Yeah.
not so sure. Not so sure. But
But you mentioned Roxanne Perez,
yeah,
and I want to kind of move into NXT here.
you're gonna
Roxanne
you're gonna have more knowledge
Perez,
than me. I don't watch it much. Don't hate me.
yeah, that's what I know. That's what I'm gonna kind of just like gonna explain a few things.
Yeah.
So Julia versus Stephanie at Roadblock for championship versus championship. We're gonna have a double champion in NXT.
Oh, so it's not gonna. So it is gonna be that they're gonna have a double champion. We're not gonna like.
Yeah,
Hmm. So we're about to have us an undisputed NXT belt. All right. All right. It's NXT North
hey,
American, right? Women's North American.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't. I just wasn't expecting that. I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, for this title, but I do hate that though, when it's like a title versus title match, but it's only obvious one title because then you know who's gonna win. Like it's obvious,
You think that's
right?
gonna go to?
But
You think that's gonna go to Julie or Stephanie?
um,
Because Stephanie just won her belt. You don't want her to take that away, but it's like Julia has had hers for a while. I could see Stephanie taking it. I mean, she's very like she's the powerhouse right now, dominant over, and definitely the pick probably for me if I ever made a prediction. But
yeah. I mean, by the time this podcast comes out, everybody will know since
yeah,
Roadblock is gonna have already been happened. But
is
yeah, I
it's
don't.
this weekend or the coming Saturday, right?
It's Tuesday. No, it's just
Two? Oh,
Tuesday.
it's
It's
Tuesday.
yeah, at Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
That's where Raw will be, and they're gonna do it for NXT
Uh,
too. But yeah, I don't know who would win out of either. I think they'll probably just go with whoever they see more potential in, but I don't know who that is. So
Given that I know in the indie scene and like New Japan, how Stephanie's already been known to hold double belts at the same time, she probably would be the first woman to do that in NXT. They probably want that because of how over she is. Like Julia, her both and Julia, I had to do my research because these people coming in, I was like, I don't know who they are, but then I did my research. Like they're badass on the indie scenes, dude. They're young. They're so damn young, and they've already accomplished so much in their careers.
yeah,
I could see her being the first ever woman to have an undisputed women's title holder. Like we don't because we don't have an NXT. Also, man, I thought it was all about family. The Dawn. What? What? I was like, all right. Well, I mean, Sean Spears kind of new because this man's rising up and stuff. So, but the Dawn, the family didn't have his back.
well, I mean, I think it's cool. The only reason he lost was because Stacks accidentally kind of got in the way, and then Sean used that to his advantage, making Stacks hit Tony. So I
Yeah,
think they're trying to build up a family breakup kind of thing. So
yeah. I hate it when they break up factions, though, man, because sometimes it never goes right. Sometimes they either get main roster call ups, but I don't think they're going to do that for Tony yet. I don't think anyone at any time soon is going to get a main call up. Roxanne kind of does, but
she's getting caught up after WrestleMania per
yeah, I
se, I
think so
think.
because she's involved. So it's like
Yeah.
she's like. I feel like main call ups are going to for like from NXT is going to start to not matter as much since they keep going back and forth, and I think they're trying to blend NXT's world in with them a little bit because that's interesting to me. But yeah, I think Roxanne is the next pick because there's going to be Bailey feuds with her more and more outside of NXT. Like Bailey's only there for temporary. She's going to come back to main roster. Roxanne's going to follow, and we're going to have that. I could see Bailey versus Roxanne at Mania. Definitely not a title
It's
match, but I definitely
yeah.
could see that happening if they
Yeah.
were to give Bailey a match.
I think there's a few people that I think deserve call ups, but I don't think they're going to call them up anytime right away. I think Wesley, I could definitely see he's ready for main roster in my opinion easily. Ego Page, he's been ready since day one. Jordan Grace, ready since day one. And then I could also see Trick Williams. So
Jordan, yeah, Jordan doesn't even really. Jordan versus Rhea would be a crazy match. Like
oh
that is would be an insane match. They're both strong women. We'll say freakishly strong women. Definitely be a crazy match. Trick definitely can get it. I think he definitely just trying to go for something before he does. Uh, I personally think Obafemi. But I think he'd probably want to go one more year with that belt because I don't think he's having a match with Moose right from TNA. I don't
yeah,
think that's going to be a
yeah.
title match though. It's just a match, right?
No, it's a title
It's
match
a title. Oh, so for the NXT or both?
just for the NXT. So Oba's
Oh,
winning.
okay. Yeah, because Moose is a champion, right?
Yeah,
I don't know why they do that when we already know that they're not going to take our belts to their show. I
yeah.
never know why they think that and like why they do that, but I guess it's just like, could you pin the champion? There's a chance, but I mean, yeah, anytime there's a TNA guy who's in with a belt, I mean, you knew Joe Hendry was going over that top rope. I'm glad he stayed in longer than he did at Rumble than he did in the Battle Royale, but yeah, you know
They're
it's.
still really fast. Yeah.
But now Jordan Grace is a part of, NXT. I could see her becoming
Hmm.
NXT Women's or even. Um, I feel like they're setting that up. If I'm gonna be
Well,
honest, her
yeah,
versus
they are.
Stephanie.
They've already had promos with each other. So
Yeah, her versus Stephanie. Like that's. I'm all for it. Are we about to go Stephanie Tribal Chief mode where she's two belts and she's damn tearing through that damn roster? I mean, I'm all for it, dude.
that'd be kind of cool.
All
Yeah.
for it for real.
Yeah. I I do want to say, yeah, I think Obafemi is also could deserves to be called up to the main roster. I think he's main roster ready as well. I just don't think he's going to be until he loses that title, and I think it's going to be quite a while before he loses that title.
Yeah, and he's a
So
pretty big dude now. Like they could have him as a powerhouse through the smaller talent, but I also want to see him fighting some like big dudes, like for sure. we had big dudes at some point, but then they got released. But I mean, you got Braun Strowman, but like those matches with Braun, it's more of like test your strength matches, and if he does a couple of squash matches, uh, but like there's big dudes that can match the size of Obafemi, but we'll have to see how long, like what their plans are. If they plan for main roster, if not, then he stays in NXT. But I don't see him dropping that belt for a while because he held the North American very long, so he could hold this one longer for sure.
Yeah. And like one thing I do really appreciate that WWE is doing is, like you said, they're blending the main roster and NXT together a lot. They're having like people down there just for one feuds and stuff. Speaking of, Chelsea Green got pinned by Sol Ruka in a tag match with her and Zarya.
Yeah, and she
So
got her face messed up.
yeah,
Yep, her
that was
Instagram is all over that. She's just like, "What the hell?" Uh, if our good friend Ryan hates us talking about this, skip it because got a good friend of ours who doesn't like the name Chelsea Green. But I'm like, dude, she's entertaining. I will tell you that she's entertaining.
yeah.
She technically is a heel, but like she's over. But like, I mean, she's doing it for him, I guess, for heel work. But we're fine with it. She's probably the most entertaining United States champion, women's, the first ever we've ever had. So, and she's
Yeah.
doing it well because like it reminds me of a Carmella aspect. We're not gonna talk much about her. There's a lot going on with her. But it feels like that because Carmella was like that before, like that clueless girl who like she'll win, but like she won't do much. Like Chelsea will like she'll get in there and fight, but she's kind of like that quirky kind of like female superstar, but still does what she needs to do to get her wins, and she's done just that, and that was the best belt to go to her for right now. So could bring her up
Yeah.
to a bigger champion one day. We'll see.
Yeah, I do kind of have a problem with her reign though. I don't
She's not
like,
defending much, yeah.
and also like it just feels like she's losing a lot of matches and getting pinned a lot, and it just like makes her kind of look weak. And then the whole weird Michin like Vortex feud thing that was going on, and like it just feels like they don't really have anything for her, which is why I'm hoping Zelina Vega being on SmackDown now is hopefully the next step.
Michin is such a talented wrestler, and yet she's not getting. Honestly, the next person that would drop that would either be drop it to someone would be her or Zelina. Zelina hasn't had a belt, dude. She's so damn talented, and yeah, probably her going to SmackDown helps that out, gets her involved more, because I think she's like I feel like she asked to be dropped from LWO, so hey, I can go do my own stuff, and then don't know what's going on with Aleister Black, but I mean, we could hopefully get him over here, and if he goes to SmackDown, I mean, I don't know who he would feud with, but then we got Wyatt Six. I mean, I don't now if he was back before he could have been a Wyatt Six member, but now the members are full. But who says we can't really expand? Like I get it, they're the Wyatt Six, but doesn't mean that you need to have six members. You could, but it's a play on the name. But um, no, I and then we have so many people released like people were like Miro, and I was like Miro's cool, but like see him going to NXT more. You got to fit these people in there. But Aleister
Yeah.
Black really could work, but we don't know with that. They're still released, and I don't know what they're going on with that. But
Yeah. White Six dead. They're dead. They're dead in the water.
yeah, Alexa needs to save them. I think Alexa needs to. She's definitely a part of
Yeah.
it. Obviously, the glitches and stuff. She'll definitely save them. That's probably what they needed. They were like waiting for her to come back. Like you guys were
Yeah.
over, but we didn't know what to do with y'all, so we're bringing back the queen bee of the group, and it's probably the best thing because given that even though like Bo or Taylor is the brother of Bray and he's the one, pushing that legacy, you kind of do need Alexa because during the Fiend storyline and when she was involved, they were the closest. It's a good thing to have like your in a way they were best friends, so like your best friend and his brother working together. And she's very creative. Like during her whole Psycho Sister Abigail run, she was also feeding those ideas herself. she can definitely help them out, truly, and definitely make a better storyline. And I see them coming back, probably not till after Mania. They could show up Friday. We don't know, but I really hope they do it soon before it's like they're gone. Because I fear that because most of these guys were about to be released or was released. Nikki Cross was like right there at being released, and now they're like have something to do, but they haven't been showing up. So hopefully they're cooking. Papa H, come on,
Yeah, Alexa Bliss
please,
is what needs to save the Wyatt Six because
for
they're
sure.
just they're not doing it
And I
right now.
and I really hope they stay together, and it's not like oh they work for a couple months and then they get released and it's just her again because that's how it was. Like the Fiend wasn't like Bray wasn't released yet before she did her like in storyline he was killed off. She betrays him. She takes over, but within that they released him unfortunately, and then she continued it on her own. I hope that doesn't happen where they like the whole aura is gone because she's just by herself. There's no one to replace them. If they all get released and she's just there doing her own shit, it's gonna be a repeat. And she's slowly fluttered out her, her transition because that's how she was. They got her out of her psychotic state, but now she's back with it, which is kind of a weird plot hole in my opinion, but it works to be honest. So
Yeah.
definitely excited for that.
Yeah, but back to NXT, crazy. I feel like once again, like hell is kind of frozen over. This feels like just as big as CM Punk, although it's different because it's not like a full return. But we have the Hardy Boys currently doing stuff in NXT.
Oh my god, yes, dude. Dude, I felt like a little kid. I tuned into that just for that segment and that match alone. And I love how happier Jeff looks. Jeff looks really happy and he really looks put together because he's been
Yeah,
struggling. People know his real life. He's been struggling with addiction and now he's back. And the fact that he looks like he loves being where he's at, I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for it. I'm glad to see them back together. You couldn't have told me years ago, like during probably a decade ago, like Hardy Boys are going to come back and be fighting on WWE again. And here we are. I mean, in between, they returned at WrestleMania, and then Matt Hardy had his one of his gimmicks he was doing, but it was mainly Matt Hardy and Bray, and then Jeff was doing his own thing. But them being back together as champions on TNA and WWE, truly mind blowing. And I feel like a kid again seeing these two tag team. So yeah,
yeah.
amazing.
As someone who never got to watch the Hardy Boys ever, and is the only reason I got into wrestling, I like I've watched old matches. I've gone back and watched like a ton of old matches just to, like catch my classics. And every single time I see Jeff Hardy or Matt Hardy or both of them wrestle, I am blown away. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy are one of is probably like my favorite tag team. They are actually they
They
are
are the most
like
iconic, and their feuds with Edge, their feuds, dude. Like the iconic ladder match with Edge and Jeff Hardy, the whole spear from the
mhm.
like, dude, that they have done so much crazy shit back in the day. Like, it, I hated how short their like big WrestleMania or not WrestleMania, their wrestling runs were because they weren't that long. Like I remember going back. If you go back, they were jobbers at one point. To one time, Kane was supposed to come out and do a promo and a match at the same time, so he just chokeslams both of them. And no, he was supposed to fight them, but he came in and he just grabs both of them and throws them out of the ring. And they just Paul Bearer cuts a promo, and I'm like, yeah, that was Jeff and Matt, and they went by their names back then. Because sometimes when
Damn.
some people debut, they give them like they'll give like a squash match. If you go back to old things like at one point Joe Hendry was in WWE at one point before he was Joe Hendry.
Yep.
He did a promo, but Jeff and Matt Hardy, they were known as Jeff and Matt Hardy, and they had blonde hair and they looked the same, and they just he threw him out of the rope, and then Paul Bearer cuts his promo. This is Kane, and it's like they've been around for a while. They just didn't get their call up until like mid 2000s, and I wish they had longer, but TNA helped them both out. So seeing these guys again, you'll get to experience it now. Like obviously they're aged, but they still have that passion that they had once before.
Yeah, and also the crowd reactions just awesome to see. That like the crowd's just loving Jeff and Matt and just showing them all the love in the world in NXT. It's so good to see. I love it.
Yeah, and it's the best place for it. I mean, like they are used to a bigger crowd. Well, I mean, if you think about it, NXT and TNA's venue sizes are the same, but I know like I would love to see Jeff or Matt in a big setting like they are today. But I think NXT is the right place for them to be at while they have the TNA deal. So yeah, still good to see them back in the WWE, but as they are.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I'm just gonna mention one more thing, and then if you want to mention something after that, cool. But I think we're gonna wrap it up soon.
Yeah,
But I do want to talk about Cora Jade seemingly injured in
Oof.
her match against Jordan Grace.
Was it?
In the middle of the match, it was
Didn't they?
called.
Yeah, I was gonna say they called that match. I can't remember what it was, but I've been seeing reports they like stopped the match in between.
Yeah, so on Twitter, Cora Jade says she's fine. So I hope it's all good because she has a match for the TNA Knockouts Championship on TNA. I'm really there. So I hope
Okay.
she's fine. But yeah,
So
if you want,
okay, so if she, so does she? Okay, so she's fine, but what did they call the match because she got hurt?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Hmm. And it was like a real kind of like not storyline hurt. Like did they throw up the X or like? I don't
yeah,
think I
no,
watched.
it was real. It
Oh
was
wow.
real.
Yeah, sometimes I hate it when they do. That's the one thing I kind of gripe about when they do storyline injuries. Now I understand like when the whole package power driver thing. That's different. I knew that was going to be storyline, but like sometimes they've like had someone. I think there was something that happened in NXT a while back. Someone like fainted,
Really?
and it was a work apparently, and then she came back the next week. I don't know why they did it, but some things like that. People and because like if it was real, they would stop the cameras. Well, kind of not, but if they cut to something, sure. But if they're all up on you and something happened, then it's definitely a work. But I remember someone fainting. It might have been Roxanne. I think someone like she fainted in the ring, but no one could tell if it was work or not, and it was never discussed again. So it might have been real. But everyone was like, "Oh, it's a shoot. It's a work because oh, she's fine." I'm like, they would throw up the X's, the medical X, or they would cut the cameras. I'm like, they can't just cut the feed. It's a live show. You could cut to the commentators, but you can't really just drop it like that, and then the viewers are like, "The hell?" But um,
Yeah, no, I don't think it was. I think it was definitely real because it happened during break. Like as soon as commercial break was over, the match was called off and she went backstage.
okay,
So
so yeah, yeah, so it might have been real then. But if she's fine, then I guess it might have looked serious, but she's fine now. That's good because her leg injury was very long. It was a very long injury, so her to be out again would have been disappointing. But glad she's okay, and hopefully whatever they have plans with her continue. I think my final thoughts is mainly like I can't wait to see what they do with Cena. This WrestleMania season is definitely interesting. Got me hyped really good. I'm hoping there's more surprises for sure set in stone. Maybe we have a prediction. Maybe Roman does return this coming Monday. Maybe not. We'll know by the time this thing uploads in the coming week.
mm,
But yeah, and this we don't have a set schedule for this podcast. It's going to be probably every other Friday for now, until in the future we decide, hey, let's give it every Friday. We're going to upload it here on my YouTube channel and on Spotify, The Beard Bros, and you can follow me on all my links. I am Redbeard22 on YouTube and my Twitter. And Croduck, you want to throw in your socials? I'm sure they can say it on the screen, but to our audio listeners,
yeah, I am Krodok, capital KRODOK. You know, it's pronounced the bird crow and the a dock, you know, a ship dock, so that's how you say it.
without a
And
W, without a
I
W in it though.
yeah, yeah. And I stream on Twitch and sometimes on YouTube, though most of the time it doesn't really work. And I post some videos, not a lot. I mostly just stream. So if
Yep.
you want to come by and hang out, then yeah.
Yep, and we'll be doing this. Yeah, like I said, every other Friday. We're gonna be just talking about random stuff. We may do like fun things in here. It's brand new for us, definitely brand new for everyone. So definitely looking forward to that. But think that's going to be it for this one, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. We definitely enjoyed it ourselves. I know he did, definitely. And can't wait to talk about some more stuff in the future. So we've been the Beard Bros. Catch you in the next one.
Peace.